of AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No. The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
she's
AOC,
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that.
Today, we're diving into something wild and honestly, almost unbelievable. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, better known as AOC, just got exposed in a way no one expected. And the fallout? Let's just say, it's not looking good for her.
Favorite interviews was when AOC was talking to that lady and she asked her to expand
about Israel-Palestine.
Oh my God.
Well, I believe absolutely in Israel's right to exist.
She just collapsed into herself.
It's literally like a fifth grader that didn't study.
Look at that incident more through just as an incident.
And then they ask you about the subject, or you didn't read the book. Well, it's about Billy and his dog.
What people are starting to see, at least in the occupation of Palestine, is...
But the crazy thing about that interview is that her first comment comes off with total authority.
I am a proponent of a two-state solution.
One little follow-up question. The question's well, what do you mean by that? And then you just see her get weaker and weaker.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
But what do you mean by that? It's I don't know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. She literally goes, I'm really not the expert.
Do you think you can expand on that? I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue.
That's right. The usually untouchable AOC is suddenly in the hot seat, and she's starting to feel the heat. So, what went down? Bill Maher lit the fuse on live TV, taking direct aim at her and accusing her of spreading an anti-American message. No filter, no mercy.
Has called for the investigating and possible impeaching of members of the Supreme Court. Here's what she said.
I believe that we should be considering subpoenas. We should be considering investigations. There also must be impeachment on the table, and the Supreme Court has not been receiving the adequate oversight necessary in order to preserve their own legitimacy.
Where in the Constitution do you find oversight? One branch is the watchdog of the other branch? I don't think so. That's not the way it works.
A lot of people don't like AOC, but I really do love the earnestness of her stupidity. There's something really charming about how hard she's trying. It's like watching your 14-year-old give a speech about something they don't really fully understand. It's kind of cute. It's adorable in a very, society destroying.
The tension was immediate. You could feel it right through the screen. From that moment, the floodgates burst open. Critics from every direction began piling on, and AOC's once bulletproof image started to crack. Even some of her strongest supporters are finding it hard to defend her now.
Here she is.
And I think if you actually do see some of the photos of the signs, I think there's something to be said about the government's about to shut down. There's a vote clock that's going down. The exits that are normally open in that building were suddenly closed.
Suddenly.
So you pulled a fire alarm?
So what I'm here to say is that House Administration and U.S. Capitol Police and Jamal Bowman are an active, and he's fully participating in saying there was a misunderstanding. But what I do think is...
hold on. He's active and fully participating in saying that there was a misunderstanding?
He was actively...
That is not our language.
No, he was...
What language is that? She is delightfully stupid. I know people don't like her. I understand that.
Right.
But I just find her just wonderful. She's so...
It's open season on AOC, and everyone's taking shots. From her shaky takes on economics to her blurry stance on immigration, critics say one thing is crystal clear: she's been dodging the tough questions for way too long. Ever since Bill Maher's on-air takedown, her image has gone from polished to problematic. But let's be real, this didn't start with Maher. The cracks have been there for a while, especially in those painfully awkward interviews. Take that infamous Israel-Palestine moment, for example. She voiced support for a two-state solution, but when pressed to explain it, she completely froze, like someone who hadn't done their homework. The answers were shallow, uncertain, and awkward. And it's not a one-time slip-up. Time after time, AOC seems to stumble under live pressure, offering vague, surface-level replies instead of solid, informed positions. Even her most loyal supporters are starting to take notice. For someone who built her brand on confidence and clarity, that's a major red flag.
Will vote for AOC and Donald Trump on the same ticket because they're authentic. No, because they're authentic.
I don't think
Okay.
Don.
I think you're wrong about that.
What people like about people like Trump and
That's
Fetterman
phony.
is because it's irrelevant to her life.
But you don't
really,
know her life.
I know that being a gorgeous woman who I wouldn't even know was Hispanic in a city has 1 million Hispanics and does not treat them badly.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. That doesn't mean that she was set down.
It implies it.
But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's.
After Bill Maher's takedown, the conversation around AOC shifted dramatically. Suddenly, critics from all sides weren't just questioning her opinions, they were questioning her competence. Every pause, every R&M is now under a microscope. The once confident image of a fearless progressive trailblazer is starting to look unsteady. Sure, every politician faces criticism, but this feels different. This feels like a credibility crisis. AOC built her reputation on viral moments and social media influence, the bold speeches, the Instagram lives, the charisma. But now, people are asking a tougher question. Where's the substance? Her rhetoric sounds powerful, but when it comes to details, like economic feasibility or specific immigration policy, things start to fall apart. Maher's critique wasn't just a jab. It was the spark that ignited a broader re-evaluation of whether her leadership can stand the test of time. Even within her own camp, doubts are surfacing. Is AOC really the right figure to carry the progressive movement forward? Her signature Green New Deal remains ambitious but light on execution. Her immigration answers sound vague, her economic plans underdeveloped. And now, with Maher's comments echoing across political media, every word she utters is dissected. Not just by conservatives, but by liberals too. The pressure is relentless, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Is AOC just going through a rough patch, or are we witnessing the start of a deeper unraveling? Some argue her greatest strength, communication, has become her Achilles heel. Because it's one thing to dominate social media, it's another to command respect in a live, unscripted policy debate. And this scrutiny isn't just about her, it's reshaping perceptions of the entire progressive movement. If their most visible leader appears unprepared for the big stage, it casts doubt on the agenda she represents. What we're seeing might not just be a politician stumbling, it could be the slow, visible breakdown of a brand once thought to be bulletproof. This isn't a small misstep, it's a full-blown identity crisis. In politics, perception is everything. Whether AOC can recalibrate and rise from this moment remains to be seen. But right now, it feels like the nation is watching her take the ultimate political stress test in real time. Can she evolve, adapt, and lead, or will this moment expose her limits? Her supporters are holding their breath, her critics are sharpening their knives, and her next move could define not just her future, but the future of the movement she helped build. So what do you think? Is this just temporary backlash, or the beginning of a much bigger reckoning? Let us know in the comments below.